What's up everybody, Will Borza here, the LA recordist. It's the analog vlog. It's a vlog and a log. Okay, plan. Tonight I'm mastering some music. I might take you along for the journey on that. Tomorrow at my desk job, we're having a picnic day. That is, we're going to the park and they're barbecuing and it's gonna be fun. After that, I'm going to a Dodger game. First one this season. So stoked. Definitely bringing you along for that. Then Saturday, really long hike. But maybe not a really long hike, maybe just a medium hike because it's supposed to get really, really hot. If the heat really kicks up, we'll probably turn back about halfway through. If the heat is bearable, we'll go to the top. It's gonna be inspirational. That's a spoiler. Sunday's Father's Day, I'm taking Leslie's dad out to dinner at our favorite Chinese restaurant, Yanqing's. You've been there. We're going back. These are just a couple things to look forward to if you are subscribed.
What's up, guy? Are you recording me?
Yes.
Oh no!
So they sent me an MP3. Don't send your mastering engineer an MP3. For the interest of learning how to master, I'll go ahead with this, but I'm going to redo everything once the full res comes in. Furthermore, this is like fully mastered. Can you see? No. No, I'm not mastering that. Hold tight. Got it. See this? So much better. Okay, let's get started. So on this one, I'm gonna take the audio through the analog loop first, instead of mess with it digitally and then send it to the analog. I think I'm gonna try and do my broad stroke shaping in the analog world and then do some fine tuning digitally. So step one is to calibrate the gear, which I already did. I had a signal generator, I blasted some tones and some pink noise through the gear to get the levels where I want them to be physically. And now I'm going to take the loudest part of the song, put it on a loop. Visually what I'm looking for here is just a lot of movement, okay? On these VU meters. I want there to be movement, I want the tubes to be pumping in and pumping out. Okay? Cool. Let's do that. Have a look. Alright, I like that. Next we'll dial in some compression. I'm not going to walk you through the whole compression process. If you want to see what I'm doing, go back and watch my video, How to Compress Audio Perfectly Every Time. The thumbnail says Compression Demystified. It's got my face on it. You can't miss it. I guess the important thing to note on the compression this time, I'm going to be doing RMS compression, and I'm going to be using a side chain at 250 Hertz, so the compressor's not listening to anything in the low range. It's not going to be triggered by the beef of the kick drum. It's all going to be, you know, snare, kick attack, lead vocal, etc. Those kind of things that are sticking out in a root mean squared fashion. Alright, compressor's dialed in. I've turned up the gain a bit so that it's peaking at -16 loudness units full scale right during the choruses. It'll be quieter than that on the verses, but that's where I want it to enter the digital realm when I record it back in right now. Record and play. Okay, so track is now in Pro Tools. It's been recorded, it passed through the analog. Now I'm going to add some reverb. This is what I set up. Have a look. This is before the reverb. This is the reverb itself. Nothing fancy here. It's a plate, it's medium, 2.2 seconds delay, roll off the top a bit. Nothing fancy. This is a meter. It's totally free. Download it. It changed my life. At this point, I would typically add some EQ, but I'm actually really happy with what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing any weird things. I'll double check in headphones, but I think this is fine as it is. They did a lot of revisions, so we talked back and forth, and sort of my ideas for EQ actually got integrated in the remixes, so yeah, works out. Alright, upon further review, I did decide to add just a little bit of mid-range EQ. This one takes a little bit of the honkiness out of the vocals, and this one pushes the beef of the guitar out to the sides of the mix instead of the center. This is one of my secret weapons. This is the Slate Virtual Buss Compressor. It's 3 compressors in one, and it models 3 different compressors. Sort of. It's one of those plugins where you just turn it on and the different algorithms working in the back make it sound better automatically. Just adds a couple harmonic goodies, and I don't know, I like it. I'm going to tweak with this for a little bit. Again, basic compression concepts, nothing you don't know already. Watch that video. You got this. Alright, notice here that each one of these, the meter is only moving 1 decibel at most. Each one of these compressors is only doing a maximum of 1 decibel of compression. More compressors, less compression each is a good way to go. Alright, and the last thing to add before the limiter is this guy, FabFilter Saturn. Super good. Excellent tape saturation emulation. Again, it's another one of those plugins where you can just turn it on and it'll make it sound better, but once you start tweaking it, it really opens up and sounds amazing. Good enough. Okay, one more thing I'm adding a De-Esser. You can see it right here. I love FabFilter. Everything FabFilter is so good. With a track like Seasons, you have a lot of sibilance. And it didn't bug me too much on the speakers, but when I put it in my headphones, it really stood out. The S's were louder than the snare drum, so I'm tackling the S's a little bit. Yeah. Okay, well the last step here is limiting, and the trick to this is not as much musical as it is trying to get the right number here. For Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all these online streaming platforms, they normalize music by 2 standards. One, they use loudness units. They loudness average every song so that it hits minus 13 loudness units. They also reduce the top. They turn down if anything clips over minus 1 decibel full scale. So I need to set the absolute output of the limiter to minus 1, and I need to turn up the gain until I can read minus 13, an average of minus 13 loudness units across the song. Because that's what iTunes and Spotify and YouTube would normalize these songs to anyway. What I'm trying to do is put together a master here that's going to sound exactly the same on all those platforms. Did I just give away a huge secret? Alright, master's done. It's sending off. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. I love that.